Let us start the new concept, control and coordination in plants. So first let us understand what does control mean. See, control means an act of limiting or restricting the functions of organs. Plants have different organs. Different organs have different functions, but the functioning of organs is controlled. Now, let us understand what does coordination mean. Coordinate, verb form. It is an act of making different organs to work together. So that is the meaning of coordinate. The noun form is coordination. See, plants have different organs and different organs functioning is required for the growth and development of plant's body. Therefore, plants organs functions should be coordinated. Now let us understand plants respond to different stimuli in the environment. Plants respond to different stimuli in the environment. What does this sentence mean? Let us understand first what is stimulus. Stimulus means change in the environment is stimulus, or which makes an organism to show reaction is stimulus. So therefore, let us define the term stimulus. A change in the environment which makes an organism to show reaction is stimulus. Now let us understand what is response. Reaction to stimulus is response. So let us understand stimulus and response with different examples. When you touch any hot object, we take back our hand because what is the change in the environment? The vessel is hot. When we touch the hot object, what do? We take back our hand. Taking back our hand is response and the hot vessel is stimulus. So stimulus is singular, stimuli is plural. When we look at the sun, we blink our eyelids. Why do we blink our eyelids? Because the sun rays are very hot. So therefore, blinking eyelids is response. So what is the stimulus? Sun rays, light rays from the sun. When you enter flower market or fruit market, what do? You would inhale deeply. Why do you do deep inhalation? Because good smell, attractive smell coming from flowers and fruits make you to have deep inhalation. So the deep inhalation is response. So what makes you to inhale deeply is stimulus. What is the stimulus there? Attractive smell. Plants respond to different stimuli. What are the different stimuli? Plants respond to sunlight. Then plants respond to gravity, gravitational force. Plants respond to water. Plants respond to chemicals. Plants respond to touch. So let us understand one by one how do plants respond to sunlight. Now let us understand what are tropic movements. Tropic movements are the movements of parts of plant in response to stimuli. Plants have the following tropic movements. They are phototropic movements. Phototropic movements we study under phototropism. Geotropic movements, geotropism, geotropism. Chemotropism, chemotropic movements we study under the subheading chemotropism. Hydrotropism, hydrotropic movements we study under the subheading hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. Thigmotropism, thigmotropic movements we study under the subheading thigmotropism. Thigmotropism. Now let us study one by one. Let us start. What is phototropism? Phototropism. Shoot part of plants grow towards the source of sunlight, that is phototropic movement. See, photo means sunlight, tropic movements towards the source of sunlight. So which part of plants grow towards the source of sunlight? Shoot part. Growth of shoot part of plant towards the source of sunlight. Shoot of plants towards the source of sunlight. The source of the sunlight. This is phototropic movement, or the process is phototropism. Shoots are positively phototropic because they grow towards the source of sunlight. So shoots are shoot part of plant is positively phototropic. Positively phototropic because they grow towards the source of sunlight, and the shoot part is negatively geotropic. Negatively geotropic. What does it mean? It means they grow away from the source of gravitational force. So that is the meaning of negatively geotropic. Now let us understand what are geotropic movements, or what is geotropism. The movement of root part of plants towards gravitational force is geotropism. These movements are geotropic movements. So growth of root part of plant towards gravity, this is called geotropism. As roots grow towards gravitational force, they are positively geotropic. Roots are positively geotropic because they grow towards gravitational force. And roots are negatively phototropic. It means they grow away from the source of sunlight. So therefore, roots are negatively phototropic. Now let us understand chemotropism. Chemo means chemical. So the movement of parts of plant towards the source of chemical. These movements are chemotropic movements, and the process is chemotropism. Example, growth of pollen tube. Growth of pollen tubes towards egg. See, these pollen tubes grow from stigma through style towards egg. So this egg is the source of chemical. So towards egg, pollen tubes grow. So this is about chemotropic movement. Now let us understand what is hydrotropism. Hydro means water. Movements of parts of plant towards the source of water is hydrotropism, and the movements are hydrotropic movements. Example, growth of roots towards water. So this is about hydrotropism. Now let us understand what is thigmotropism. Thigmo means touch. So movement of parts of plant in response to touch is thigmotropism, and the movements are thigmotropic movements. Example, mimosa. See, this mimosa is a sensitive plant, sensitive to touch. So when we touch the leaves of plant, leaves become folded. Now let us understand how does mimosa plants detect and transport the information of touch from one cell to the another. Mimosa plant uses electrical and chemical ways. Electrical and chemical ways. Chemical ways to detect and transport the information of touch. Then the information of touch is transported by changing the shape of the cells. By changing the shape of cells. The shape of cells by changing the amount of water in them. By changing the amount of water in them. The amount of water in them. In the sense, in the cells. As a result of changing the amount of water in cells, cells shrink and swell. Cells swell and shrink. So when cells swell, they absorb water. When cells absorb water, cells swell. When cells lose water, they shrink. See, that is the meaning of changing the shape of cells by changing the amount of water in them. As a result of these three things, the information of touch is conveyed from one cell to another. As a result, leaves become folded. This mimosa plant is a sensitive plant. To touch stimulus, leaves become folded very quickly. So far we have discussed different types of tropic movements. Now let us understand what are the different types of movements plants show. There are two types of movements. First type is growth independent movements. Growth independent movements. What are growth independent movements? The movements which are independent, which don't depend on growth. They are growth independent movements. These movements are not related with the growth of plants. These movements are not related with the growth of plant. With the growth of plant. So from these 5 types of tropic movements, we can easily identify which comes under growth independent movements. Thigmotropic movements. Example, thigmotropic movements are growth independent movements. See, when we touch mimosa plant, leaves become folded and after some time leaves get unfolded. So these folding and unfolding of leaves have no relation with the growth of plant. So therefore these movements are very independent. They don't have any relation with the growth of plant. So this type of movements are called growth independent movements. Now let us talk about example thigmotropic movements. Thigmotropic movements. Now let us understand second type of movements. They are growth dependent movements. These movements depend on growth. These movements depend on growth. What are the examples? Growth of shoot towards sunlight, growth of root towards gravitational force, growth of pollen tubes towards egg cell, growth of roots towards water. So these are the examples number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Phototropic movements, geotropic movements, chemotropic movements and hydrotropic movements. So these movements entirely depend on growth of plant. So therefore they depend on growth. So they are called growth dependent movements. Growth dependent movements are always very slow. Growth dependent movements are slow movements. But growth independent movements, thigmotropic movements, are very quick and very rapid. So this is about types of movements in plants. Now let us study about plant hormones. What are hormones? Hormones are chemical substances. These plant hormones help in coordinating. See, these plant hormones help in coordinating growth and development of plant. Growth and development of plant. Plant hormones also help in coordinating responding to environmental stimuli. Responding to the environmental stimuli. In the environment, there are different stimuli like light, gravitational force, water, chemicals, touch. So these are different stimuli, and these plant hormones help in coordinating, responding to the environmental stimuli. Now let us understand what are different plant hormones and their functions. Name of the hormone and its function. Auxins. Auxins play a major role in the growth of cell. Growth of cells. It means cells elongation. Then gibberellins. Second hormone, gibberellins. These gibberellins play a major role in the growth of stem. Gibberellins promote the growth of stem. Then the third hormone, cytokinins. These cytokinins promote cell division. cell division. These three hormones, auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins, are plant growth hormones. These three hormones are plant growth hormones. Plant growth promoting hormones. Why are they called so? Because these three hormones help in the growth of plant body. Therefore, these three hormones are plant growth promoting hormones. Then there is one more hormone, that is ABA, abscisic acid. Abscisic acid. This abscisic acid is a growth preventing hormone because it limits the growth of plant. It stops the growth of plant. Therefore, it is a growth inhibiting hormone. So, abscisic acid is a growth inhibiting hormone. Inhibit means stop, limit. Growth inhibiting hormone because it limits the growth of plant. Then ABA also influences wilting of leaves. Wilting of leaves. Wilting means dropping of leaves. Dropping of leaves. Drop means leaves bend downwards. And then there is one more hormone, that is ethylene. 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 This ethylene is a fruit ripening hormone. Ethylene is a fruit ripening hormone. This ethylene is in gaseous state. It is in gaseous state. It is the only hormone in gaseous state. When you enter any fruit market, we get attractive smell. That smell is because of the hormone ethylene. It is because of the hormone ethylene. So these are the plant hormones. First three are auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins are growth promoting hormones because they promote growth. They help in the growth of plant body. And abscisic acid is a growth inhibiting hormone because it stops the growth of plant. And ethylene is in gaseous state. It is a fruit ripening hormone. Now let us understand, why do plants appear to bend towards the source of light? The reasons are, when growing stem detects the light, auxin is synthesized at the tip of the shoot. So the first reason is synthesis of auxins, means production of auxins, formation of auxins. Synthesis of auxins at the tip of the shoot when it detects sunlight. Then second thing is, the synthesized auxins diffuses to the shady part of the stem which is away from the light, source of light. Diffusion of auxins to the shady part of the stem. To the shady part of the stem which is away from the source of light. See, this is the shady part of the stem which is away from the source of light. So auxins diffuse, then accumulation of auxins promote cell elongation. So auxins accumulate, so that when the concentration of auxins become more, these auxins promote cell elongation. Auxins accumulate and promote cell elongation. Cell elongation or promote cells to grow longer. Promote cells to grow longer. As a result of cell elongation, the tip of the stem grows towards the source of light. So these are the reasons behind why do plants appear to bend towards the source of light.